So one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about is this. We touched a little bit on it with Larry Lee. Getting back to the games on the field this weekend, is there a player that has more pressure on him? And Dan Orlovsky suggested this on Twitter and
I
on
have a
ESPN.
suggestion too.
That I think he nailed it. I mean, I think he absolutely nailed it. There's nobody that has more pressure on him than Matthew Stafford. Look, Jared Goff was the starting quarterback of the Rams team that got to the Super Bowl. Yes, they lost. But Jared Goff was also the starting quarterback of a team that got them to the divisional. Now, he came in the wild card game last year against Seattle and led them to a victory.
Yeah.
It seemed
with a jacked up thumb.
What's that?
With a jacked up thumb.
Yeah, with a jacked up thumb. And it appeared that coach Sean McVay was trying to do anything he could to not play Jared Goff last year.
He emasculated him.
But he did eventually get in that game, and they won the wild card game. And they lost eventually to the Packers in the divisional round. So, I mean, if you're Matthew Stafford, it is Super Bowl or bust this year. It is a failure.
I don't think it's Super Bowl or bust.
It is a failure to do anything outside of win the Super Bowl because the guy previous to you got you at least to the Super Bowl.
I get
They
it.
got you. The Rams traded the farm for you because they thought you could win it.
He's got to win a playoff game. We all know that. He's 0 for 3? 0
for 3.
0 for 3. He's got to win a game. Everyone has said here in Detroit he can't win the big game. You know his record in big games.
11-71.
They're not very good. But he was with the Lions. So now he goes to a team that's all-star team.
Currently this
Yep,
as
all-star
well.
caliber team with the Rams. They lose a couple players.
1-5 this year with the Rams.
Their running game isn't great, and he was not good down the stretch. He was MVP in the first half of the season. Second half, not so much, but the Rams have been going through some stuff. I know I'm sounding like I give you excuses, but
That's what you're sounding like.
he's got to win one playoff game, and he's got to beat the Cardinals on Monday night. But if you're asking me, there's another guy with pressure on him, and it's Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron
was the
Rodgers
other guy.
has to make it to the Super Bowl. This is it. You got to go, man. He's won one Super Bowl, just like Brett Favre. They each won one Super Bowl, yet they're two of the greatest quarterbacks to walk the planet. Corey, you got anything?
It's hands. I don't even think Aaron Rodgers belongs in this conversation off the simple fact, like you said, he has a Super Bowl. He's won playoff games. Yes, the Packers have underachieved with the because of how much respect we have for Aaron Rodgers, but it's definitely hands down Matthew Stafford. First off, I mean, just think about the narrative that was coming into this season. Matthew Stafford is finally with the team. Oh, throughout the season, Matthew Stafford finally has a receiver, Cooper Kupp, like Megatron is chopped liver or something. There's been so many things about this was going to be his year. Look at how his last 3 games have went. He's went 8-8. Eight touchdowns to 8 interceptions through a couple of pick
8
sixes.
interceptions the last 4 weeks of the season.
Yeah, I mean, it's
3 pick sixes.
3 pick sixes. I mean, he has the most pressure on him out of anybody because the Rams gave up so much to get him. Granted, whatever anybody wants to say about Jared Goff's talent as a quarterback or not, Jared Goff proved one thing. You surround him with talent, he can get you to the Super Bowl. Now that Stafford is in LA, he has to prove that now that he all of a sudden has his talent around him, he has to go win a Super Bowl in the next 2 years. Not necessarily this
year or next.
This year or next.
Yeah.
He has to win in the next 2 years, but he has to crawl before he walks, and that's winning a playoff game. If he does not win a playoff game, then the pressure on him next year is mounting. So he needs to at least win a playoff game this year to take that pressure off of him and get rid of a whole offseason narrative of, hey, maybe they were right about that guy.
Do you think he wins?
Absolutely not.
I don't think
they
absolutely not. I don't think the Rams are going to win that playoff game.
They are.
I don't know why I don't think that. Maybe because it's – actually, I do know why I think they're not going to win. And I think they're not going to win because of Matthew Stafford. You cannot turn the ball over at the rate in which he turns the ball over. Look, I'm not – the Memphis Grizzlies – perfect example of this, I think. The Memphis Grizzlies have a 10-game win streak last night. A lot of people were talking about, tonight's the night. That streak ends. Minnesota's gonna. You don't jump in front of a moving train. You know what I mean? So you almost have to see it. You got to see Memphis fall before you want to jump against them. I almost have to see Matthew Stafford win a playoff game before I pick him to win a playoff game. And if he wasn't turning the ball over the last month of the season, he's not turning the ball over the beginning of the season, working with new receivers and getting timing down. He's had an entire offseason and an entire season to work with these guys. And Odell Beckham came in, but you're talking about Cooper Kupp. You're talking about Van Jefferson. By the way, 7 of the 8 interceptions that Matthew Stafford has thrown in the last month of the season is on targets to anybody other than Cooper Kupp.
Right. They try to take him out of the game.
Also, got to add this one last thing. Like you said, he's 0-3 in the postseason. Matt, I've got to say it like a broken record. He has not thrown a postseason touchdown in the past 7 quarters he's played.